Good afternoon, ladies. My name is Aisha Logan. I am a registered nurse with my BSN. I'm currently a psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner student and intern with On a Couch Therapy. I wanted to do this interview today to learn more about autism, Philly Autism Kickback, and to just find out how the organization is ran, what you guys are based off of, and how we're contributing to the community. So I know I met Chanel and Leah. So if you guys could just tell us a little bit about what Philly Autism Kickback is about, that would be great.
Okay, my name is Chanel Scott. I'm a social worker by trade. I currently work at the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. And I've been working with Leah doing the Philly Autism Kickback for about the past 3 years. And so Philly Autism Kickback, our mission is to empower young adults on the autism spectrum by providing an interactive and communal space that promotes individuality, unity, and social awareness. Since we started our program, we've been our mission is to expose our youth to different activities in the community and also expose the community to the young adults. And we do monthly activities, usually about 3 or 4 hours long in the community, like bowling, going to like mini golf, going to see a movie, things like that. And then in the summertime, we do an 8-week session where we meet every other Saturday, and we do some travel training, getting onto SEPTA, teaching the young adults how to navigate the city. And just building a community as well. So our vision is that in the future, this would become a peer-led organization where peers would kind of gather themselves and plan their own activities, and also build a community among the parents to have support with one another, and increase socialization outside of our activities as well.
That is awesome. How long has it been? How long has the organization been around for?
So we started in 2020, and then during the pandemic year, we really focused on like administrative stuff and just making sure we had all of our things in order. And then 2021 is when we had our first group of participants that started to join us, and we started our monthly activities. And then in 2022, we had our first summer session. We had 4 members, and then last summer we expanded to have 16 members that joined us for the summer. So we've really grown a lot. And at this point, we have about 20 members that interact with us, and usually
Wow.
and then usually our events, we usually have about probably like 10 to 15 members that'll come out to each event.
That's awesome. Leah, so what does autism look like to you? Like what do you classify autism as?
I classify autism spectrum disorder as a neurodevelopmental disorder that basically is like a wide range of symptoms based on the individual. It can vary widely amongst individuals. Basically, when it comes to both communication and nonverbal skills. A lot of times, what I've seen with individuals with ASD, most individuals have difficulties with communicating with one another, maybe like poor eye contact or lack of focus when responding to others. And also obsessive or like repeated behaviors. They're really passionate about, like, for example, like a certain movie or like a certain subject, and they're really, really fixated on that one thing. So sometimes their behaviors can be seen as repetitive. And also, you may see an individual like have certain triggers, like high sensitivity to sounds, as well as stimming, which is like back and forth movements.
Yes. And then I just want to add, so because the synaptic organization and the neural functions of the brain, a lot of times it will impair their daily living, their relationships with people, and they believe that it's genetic and environmental influence that contribute to the development of ASD. Also, a lot of individuals may present with speech impairment, um, like you said, poor eye contact, compulsive behaviors, anxiety, depression, which is why sometimes this disorder is mistaken for so many other disorders because of those reasons. Delayed cognition, and they either can be, like you said, hyper or hypo-reactive to sensory aspects. So, yeah, that's great. And I think it's important to also add that um, a lot of people, when we see these signs, it's automatically to think that it's a negative like behavior. A lot of times, some people won't really like dive in and get an assessment done because they just assume like their child is acting out, or instead of realizing that the neurodivergence.
Yeah, I definitely, as a sorry about that, but as a high school teacher, as well as I've also worked at the Center for Autism. I definitely see that a lot of neurotypical individuals, they don't understand sometimes where a person with autism is coming from, and a lot of times they get like misjudged or misrepresented because of their triggers, or because of how they interact with other individuals um, outside of the spectrum.
That is absolutely true. Chanel, I wanted to ask you, what do you think some of the contributing factors that can increase the risk and rate of autism spectrum disorder? And we did talk about some genetic, some environmental, biological, but if you could like elaborate on that.
So I would say that there's still a lot of research being done currently and in the past. And I know, like you said, there's been a lot of, um, you know, research done, and people say that it could be connected to genetics. It could be connected to like the age of the woman when she has the baby. It could have something to do with vaccines. It could have something to do with, um, there's a lot of other like um, reasons out there that people have for why autism occurs. But I think there's really no real correlation between those things happening and then children being diagnosed with autism. And there's still a lot of research being done. So I would say that we don't really know. Like, I mean, I'm not like, obviously I'm not a doctor, I'm not a psychologist, but I don't think that as a whole, as a community, that we really know what causes it.
And then I believe that in every case, it should be a case by case, because just because this was maybe someone in his family or her family had it doesn't mean that that was the cause. You know what I'm saying? As
Yes.
well as, like you said, there was so many misconceptions with immunizations and stuff like that. So
Yes.
it should be judged by case and assessed fully and thoroughly with a mental health family history, personal history, as well as behaviors and stuff from the age of 3, 5, or whatever the case may be, and developmental. So, Leah, what do you think some of the challenges are with the Black and Brown community, social determinants of health, and parents getting their children assessed for it. What do you think, and what have you guys seen like as some of the challenges?
Definitely like within the city of Philadelphia, you see a lot of individuals, especially our Black and Brown individuals, have difficulty accessing certain opportunities when it comes to like accessing basically, what I'm trying to say, basically accessing different like gateways to like assisting with their children. I was actually recently I work at the Center for Autism, and a lot of
Mhm.
my clients are getting pushed out of the program because the government has has to switch their insurance without
Mm.
the parents, about letting them know. So in the beginning, they had Keystone Kids first, and now they're getting switched to CHIP. And because of that, now they're getting kicked out of our program. And, without insurance, that program
Yeah.
is really expensive. So a lot of parents are worried because a program where their son and daughter were going to for years, they're now getting kicked out. So now that opportunity to socialize and interact with with their own peers is getting taken away from them. And it's a really sad, and it's a huge detriment when it comes to accessing things without having the necessary funds to obtain it.
So basically, more stakeholders, more sponsors, more awareness, and more contributors is what is needed
Yes,
to make it spread more widely.
yes, definitely. And also, once you turn 21, your insurance changes again. And then there's even less opportunities to access a program where insurance that you may not have is needed to access that program. That's really the main reason why Chanel and I started the Philly Autism Kickback. It's a program for individuals 18 and older who have the opportunity to access a program where it doesn't cost a lot of money, and most of our events are free. So our Black and Brown members can access things and still have like strong relationships and strong bonds with their peers without needing insurance involved.
So, so Chanel. So to piggyback off of that, though, with the Black and Brown community, do you feel as though a lot of families are resistant to care or afraid of being judged? I know personally in my family, we have a relative who their parent has not told them that the doctor believed that they are autistic. So do you feel like it's more of a fear where Black and Brown community they don't go as fast to the doctor or to get them assessed?
Um, I would say, I mean, I think it's overwhelming for any parent to get a diagnosis like autism spectrum disorder, because as a parent you want your child to be like quote unquote normal, and then you think about all of the deficits that they could possibly have, and not necessarily like all of the strengths and all of the ways that you could support them. um, and I think that's hard for parents initially, to think about their children in a different way than they initially had thought about it. But I do agree that I think that Black families sometimes are avoidant of like big systems, and healthcare is one of the big systems that you know a lot of people don't feel comfortable going into the doctors. Um, and they might feel judged, and a lot of times they are treated that way. A lot of times providers treat parents as if they are not competent. And then even with like things like being misdiagnosed, like a parent might go in saying like, I think my child has autism, and they're
Right,
like, oh, it's ADHD, and there's like this
right.
telling you, I'm watching them and this seems like autism. But the doctor is like, no, I'm the expert, so I'll let you know if it's autism. instead of like letting them be a partner in their child's care. So I think that has more in the Black community than anywhere else, um, when we try to advocate for our children. But I think that a lot of parents are aware, especially now. I think autism is something that a lot of people are much more educated on and aware of, especially some of the signs when it comes to like infancy stage, like around that 1 year old, 2 year old stage, and some of those early signs. I think a lot of parents notice those, and they are. I feel like, in my experience, I feel like parents are concerned and they are quick. They are going to get their child evaluated.
So they're being more proactive now.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So as you said, like the ADHD, that's like the top one that they're misdiagnosed for, or they'll give them a differential diagnosis. So it's the attention hyperactivity deficit disorder, the ADHD, or they'll say they have intellectual disability, or they'll say they have obsessive compulsive disorder, OCD, or they'll say antisocial personality disorder based off of some of their behaviors, Tourette syndrome, tic disorder, oppositional defiant disorder. That's a big one as well that they say, especially in a younger age. And then like schizophrenia, even though that's less common, some individuals have been misdiagnosed with schizophrenia as well.
Yes. Yeah, I used to work in child welfare, and kids get misdiagnosed with stuff all the time, and it follows
Yes.
for a long time until someone really says, like, wait a minute, like, where did this come from? And starts to question it. And, to get an autism diagnosis, it's like a really involved like evaluation. Like, it's not something that's just like you just get diagnosed by accident. Like, it's something
Right.
that you have to be evaluated and have all these certain aspects of behavior to qualify.
That's absolutely true. Leah, why do you think it is that more males are diagnosed than females with autism spectrum disorder?
You know, um, being a high school teacher and working at the Center for Autism,
Mhm.
it is predominantly male. Just from what I've seen, I heard that it's harder to diagnose it in females than males. Like males show more typical signs than a female may show. So generally, I think that it's just females are more misdiagnosed, maybe as ADHD or as OCD or other disorders that you've mentioned, and
Mhm.
that might be the possibility why females are not diagnosed as much as males.
Chanel, you want to piggyback off of that?
No, I don't. No, I don't really know. I think I would just go back to like there's still a lot of research being done, and
Mhm.
um, yeah, I think there's a lot of reasons for it.
So in the research that I did back in January, it stated that boys are 4 times more likely than girls to develop or become diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder, and it usually is diagnosed around the age of 6 to 8 years old.
Mhm.
However, as you stated, like early intervention and assessments at an earlier age, they're starting to consider like diagnosing children earlier. Um, it also says that Black, Hispanic, and Pacific Islanders now have a higher rate than white children as well. So that goes, I guess, back to what we were saying with um, environmental, biological factors. You see, all these can play a role in it, so it becomes a little tricky. Like you said, with the research, it's like we don't know a concrete reason. We just know like based off of studies.
Yeah.
Um, what is the negative stigma? And I think we kind of touched on that, but the negative stigma associated with autistic individuals, and how do you think that play a role in the community as well? Like
Um,
discrimination, prejudice, um, stereotyping, and stuff like that.
just from our experience from being out in the community, um, a lot of people believe that like individuals on the spectrum are not capable of doing a lot of things that a normal neurotypical person can do. For example, we recently went skating, and you know, they constantly told us that we need to keep an eye on our members, even though they were ages 18 and older. Even there was plenty of children that were out supervision. And when we asked, they said because our members were special, that they needed special attention. Instead of
Wow.
considering them as adults, who may be on the spectrum, who may have a disorder, they are fully capable of conducting themselves in public and enjoying themselves with skating. Just something that simple.
Yeah.
It's just seen typically, even like in the general education system. A lot of individuals that I work with, I know that they can do more, and I advocate for them a lot to go into general education classes, and I get a lot of pushback. Like, I have to really fight for my students to go out into general education, math and English, because a lot of people don't believe that they are capable of doing things that regular individuals can do. Don't want to say regular, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Also,
that the majority. We'll say the
yes,
majority.
yes.
also think that sometimes their behaviors, like some of the stemming behaviors, like can make people uncomfortable, and so they don't want them in the general education classes, or sitting next to you at the movies. But it's like, they deserve to be wherever they want to go and do activities
Right.
that they want to do. And I feel like as a community, overall, like we should just normalize, like, oh, they stimming, like that's just normal behavior. Like we should be aware of people, and like we don't need to know everything about them, but seeing someone stimming and think
Right.
they might have autism, like that should be normal. Like they should be in the community. They should, like, other people should be aware and accepting of that.
Right.
And
And in our,
they should. Oh, sorry.
I'm so sorry. I was going to say really quick. In our group alone, we have individuals who are Temple students who go to college. We have individuals who are nonverbal, and we also have individuals who recently got their driver's license. So
Oh,
they are
wow.
capable of doing, whatever they set their mind to. They are capable of doing it.
And the medication. So we can't forget about that part, right? So even like you said, driver's license. So a lot of times they are capable of having we're not going to say a normal life, but they're capable of being able to drive and capable of being able to work and have healthy relationships. But medication does play a big role as well, and as well as therapy. So they both go good together to reduce, like you said, the stemming behaviors and everything like that. But I wanted to piggyback and say what you guys are saying in regards to going out to a skating rink, or going out to the movies, is a negative stigma of let's protect everyone else because they are irate, or they are obnoxious, or they are, something's wrong with them.
Exactly.
So, as you said, we have to bring more awareness to normalize that they are normal as well. It's just a different normal. So, yeah, no, I believe that we have to definitely bring more awareness.
Yeah. I also just want to say that in my experience, like autism spectrum disorder is usually not treated with any medication. But therapy does help with like managing some of the like repetitive behaviors and some of the stemming. They could learn like some coping strategies and learn how to, like, you know, not be so obnoxious sometimes, like,
Yeah,
as part of like a therapy. But unless they have like a co-occurring disorder or
yeah,
something,
that's what I was gonna say. So
yeah,
first line treatment is definitely therapy. However, if they have a comorbidity or co-occurring disorder, a lot of times they will give mood stabilizers and to reduce the behaviors. And that's usually like when they get older as well. So um the next thing I wanted to ask, and both of you guys get into this, Chanel and Leah. Leah, you can go first. But what are some of the ways that Philly Autism Kickback has contributed to the community, or impacted the awareness of autism?
Um, so as we said, we are a socialization group for adults. How we've contributed to the community is we're bringing an undeserved population into a group where they're able to socialize, um, build strong relationships, as well as have fun throughout Philadelphia. Um, and for the most part, all of our events are free. We just typically ask for just for spending money from our individuals, and we've gone to many places. And we also, like as Chanel has stated before, we want it to be a peer-led organization. So we allow our members to basically like give advice or give details on like what they want to go to throughout Philadelphia.
So, wait, before you answer, Chanel, I mean, like, you know how the street signs are being put up, autistic, child area. Have you guys like contributed to anything like that, or you know what I'm saying, like out in the actual community, like physically?
Oh, okay.
I mean, we like we're creating like community around like the parents, like because like we have all these members, we now have a connection of parents who also become resources to each other. Um, and I mean, that's been like, I feel like that's been like our biggest impact on the community, really just creating this community. And also like when we're out in the community, we also, you know, sometimes we'll get someone who's like staring at us or like, you know, um, talking to one of our members. And, you know, sometimes we'll try to like intervene or just like see like what's going on just to make sure that, you know, they're not being rude to our member or anything like that. And then they'll be like, oh no, I have a cousin, I have a brother, I have an uncle who has autism. And then, you know, they're like, we're building awareness of our program. And then
Mhm.
also people like we've also met people who now think more of their child or more of their sibling or family member, just like seeing our group in the community. They're like, oh, they could do something like this. And it's like, yes, they can do whatever they want to do if they're capable of
Right.
coming out into the community. But a lot of times they end up like, I mean, we're on the couch in the show. That's where they end up, just staying on the couch, being home, not interacting with the community. And we created this space that didn't exist before. And I feel like that's been our biggest impact so far.
Yeah.
Right. Well, when I did it, I don't know. I want to share something with you guys. I don't know if you guys want to use it in the future, but
Okay.
it was a part of my assignment that I did back in January, and I created I guess an acronym for the prognosis, and it says it's RACE, RACE. It says R is for research improves predictions of quality of life with ASD. A, autistic individuals can live normal lives with therapy. C, communication with the child's clinician to establish an effective course of treatment is key. And E, early recognition is crucial in maximizing the best outcome. So um, we all talked about it, but I think that that is definitely like a collaborative. Um, we all have to work together. We all have to work together with the parents, the schools, the students. So I don't know. I see it going like places. I don't know. Do you guys like do a walk? Like, do you do the autism walk or whatever? Because I'm interested in signing up, coming out, supporting. I don't know if you guys do. You take donations? If you could put that information out there for those who would want to.
Yes, we are always welcoming donations. Our website is www.phillyautismkickback.org. That's where individuals can donate if they're interested in donating. Donations typically goes towards our trips as well as providing gear to our members. So all of our members have shirts that say Philly Autism Kickback. So when we go like on certain outings, we love for all of our members to wear shirts.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes, we're really community based.
All right, well, keep me posted. I definitely, want to tap in or whatever. I'll bring my friends out.
Okay.
And just if I could post on social media to promote you guys, I will.
That would be awesome. We're always looking for new members.
I thank you for talking to me and just educating me more on how it works.
Yes, thank you. Yeah,
Thank
you
you
can
so
follow
much.
us on at Philly Autism Kickback on Instagram
Yes.
Okay.
and Facebook.
And Facebook. Got you.
All right. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Have a good day, y'all.
You too. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.